And taking a live look outside, we're talking about changes to the forecast today. Katie LaSalle tracking some showers that could be headed your way later today. Brianna Fernandez, of course, also keeping an eye on the roads for us this morning and your morning commute.
But first, taking a live look to stock futures right now. Opening bell on Wall Street is less than half an hour away, and the markets continue to react to the conflicts between the U.S. and Iran. Right now, the oil industry is facing a worst-case scenario as the Strait of Hormuz shuts down. That area monitors all traffic for oil tankers, and nearly 20 million barrels of oil gets transported worldwide each day. According to AAA, the national average gas price per gallon jumped 11 cents overnight. Now it's $3.11. The state average is a little bit lower than that, landing at $3.02. Today marks day 4 of the war in the Middle East. Last night, we learned Iran struck the U.S. embassy in Saudi Arabia with a drone.
A Saudi official tells NBC News no one was hurt, but the strike still adds to the growing tension in the region. 9 News reporter Janelle Finch joins us live here with the latest. Good morning, Janelle.
Good morning, Lauren, Drew. This comes as President Trump is expected to brief Congress later today. Many lawmakers are calling for a vote to force Trump to get Congress approval before any further military action. Trump says it could take more than a month to end Operation Epic Fury. He says the U.S. objectives in Iran are to destroy missile capabilities and the Navy. He also wants to ensure the country never obtains nuclear weapons and can't arm terrorists outside their borders. The president briefed some Democrats and Republicans yesterday who came out of that briefing with mixed responses.
Look, a whole lot of questions were asked. I found their answers completely and totally insufficient. In fact, at least to me, that briefing raised many more questions than it answered.
They gave us operational details. They gave us the rationale for what was done. And I was very satisfied with the briefing.
Since the weekend strikes in Iran, at least 6 U.S. service members have died. Hundreds of Iranians have also died. The U.S. State Department is urging Americans to leave 14 countries in the Middle East, though as we've seen from social media posts and national media, getting out isn't easy. Janelle Finch, 9 News.
All right, thank you, Janelle. Of course, that's a story we'll continue to cover today here on the air and online at 9news.com. Right now, though, we want to talk about our weather situation as we take this live look at downtown Denver on a Tuesday morning. Katie, yesterday we talked about that temperature reaching 70 degrees, not quite the 71 that we saw earlier this year as the high for the year. Today, completely different story, maybe not even reaching 50.
Going to be a whole lot cooler. Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I don't know if you can kind of make it out. I've been watching this camera at Fort Morgan. A little rainbow in the distance. We've seen a few scattered rain showers roll across the plains. Drew's like, I don't see it out there. It was there, I promise. Mostly cloudy skies. And we have been watching scattered snow showers in the high country. We're now mostly cloudy over Copper Mountain. We have picked up some good totals in portions of the mountains for today. It's around 2 to 3 inches max as we get into this afternoon for portions of our Front Range high country, but spots like Eldora set to pick up slightly more snow. In Denver, we're talking rain, but it will be a whole lot cooler. Yes, yesterday we were in the low 70s. Today we're expecting highs in the upper 40s to just around 50 degrees. We have been watching those showers roll over portions of the plains, now up over northern Colorado. Some wet weather to be expected. Not everywhere we'll see widespread precipitation, but at this stage, especially with this unseasonably warm, dry winter, any little bit of precipitation. We're not usually talking rain in early March in Denver, but that's what we'll see for today. It will be helpful regardless. We'll talk to Jaden Knowles about the drought conditions coming up in just a bit. But temperature-wise, we're in the upper 30s to low 40s. Firestone, downtown Denver, and Castle Rock, slightly colder in the mountains this morning, just below freezing near Granby, Georgetown. Today, we are bracing for, yes, the chance for wet weather through the afternoon. Into the evening commute, some wet roadways to be expected. It'll clear out really quickly. We do have one winter weather advisory to tell you about in the mountains coming up, but for tomorrow and Thursday, mid to upper 60s. A stronger storm system is set to arrive by Friday. Brianna?
Katie, thank you so much. For anyone taking I-25 and 6th Avenue, this is literally every day. 6th Avenue is always backed up right around that bridge heading into I-25. So it is not going to be a fun ride for anyone leaving the Lakewood area heading into I-25, especially if you're heading southbound this morning. That's where we're seeing significant slowdowns, and you could see it right there. So starting from Sheridan Federal, heading eastbound into 6th Avenue is where you're going to see those delays. So I do want to show you what this looks like on our CDOT cameras. I-70 at Holly Street, traffic very different than what we were just seeing from Sky 9. So traffic is moving nicely in both directions. Switching things over to our main maps, no major crashes to report on our interstates. And really, I-225, this is nice to see because we have the green light right now. So I'm not seeing significant slowdowns in that area. Southbound I-25 from 144th down to 76. You just know that our usual spots that start the slowdowns is from 104th Avenue. So right now your overall drive about 11 minutes. And if you're taking 270, heavy delays between York and Vasquez, 10-minute drive right now.
All right, thank you, Brianna. One man died after a two-car crash along the line between Cherry Hills Village and Greenwood Village. This happened at the intersection of Bellevue and Franklin, where people have called for safety upgrades in the past. Cherry Hills Village Police says no one else was hurt in this crash, but they are still investigating. We previously have reported on a local man's push for safety improvements at this same intersection after his wife was hit and killed in May of 2024. Since that time, the city of Greenwood Village told us that they have increased police patrols and traffic enforcement. They also say they're talking with leaders in Cherry Hills Village and CDOT about potential long-term solutions.
The CU football team is honoring the memory of quarterback Dominique Ponder. The 23-year-old died in a single-car crash on Baseline Road in Boulder County early Sunday morning. Dom came to CU as a transfer. He played his first 2 games last season. His teammates describe him as gritty, competitive, and passionate. Sunday night, the Buffs held an emergency team meeting. Coach Prime gave them the option of pushing back the start of spring practice, but they decided they wanted to take the field.
He would definitely want us to be here today practicing and having a smile on our face. He wouldn't want anybody to be down because Dom was never down.
Our mentality was we got to get back to work, and we got to honor Dom in the way that we work, and we're going to do it for him.
In moments like this, that's when we really come closer together, rely on each other, and let football make what it does.
Everything that they do is going to be for their teammate there. CU Athletics says that they have counseling resources available to student athletes and staff.
Public health leaders in Colorado say a second student at Broomfield High School has measles. Neither of these students is vaccinated. Public health leaders announced the first student's diagnosis back on Friday. They say this second student may have exposed people at the school between Tuesday and Friday of last week. Students and staff who may need to take some health precautions will be contacted directly. The district says they're following the recommended protocol, which is similar to COVID, wiping down and disinfecting surface areas. That second student in the case here also went to a Chick-fil-A and a Chipotle. There's more detailed information about potential exposure in the online version of this story at 9news.com.
When you register your car, part of that money does more than fix the roads. It also helps pay for your local schools. Right now, schools get a set amount of money for each student. Property taxes and part of your vehicle registration fee go toward that total. The state pays whatever is left. In some districts, voters approved extra school taxes. That means schools get additional vehicle registration dollars on top of what they're already owed. The governor wants to change that formula by counting that extra money toward the total instead of on top of it. If that happens, the state would pay less and school districts would lose money. Denver Public Schools would take the biggest hit. Douglas County schools would also lose millions.
If you suddenly cut us by $26 million, that's going to have impact, and we're going to have to make decisions to balance our budget in response to that.
And if we're truly needing to cut education, then let's talk about that honestly and not just hide it within the formula and not be truthful with our communities.
Nothing's happening right away. For now, this wouldn't change school funding this year or even next year. The earliest it could start is fall of 2027, with full cuts the year after that.
Well, we are tracking some beneficial rain across the metro area. We'll have more details about that coming back after the break.
And also this quick reminder, you can stream 9 News everywhere you watch. Just scan the QR code you see right there on your screen and watch for free.